Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. We are back. This will be for Wednesday, October 7th. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J. Hollingsworth. And we have the M squared. We have a.k.a. Chocolate M&M. We have a.k.a. M2D12.
Oh, shit. Manulus Rojas.
Yes.
Manny Martin, back.
What's up, Manny?
What's up, man? Long time no talk.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, some of you, I'm sure, are aware Manny and I are, oh, you know what? Fuck, I got to change this. Sorry, Manny, one sec, nothing. Don't do anything. There we go. Boom. We got to be side to side.
Boom.
Yeah, so, Manny, you know, we're doing the Love in Black and White podcast. It's going great. And so I haven't done the Hollingsworthless in a couple of weeks. And I've got hit up by a few people like, hey, what's up with it? And nothing, it's not going anywhere, nothing like that. So I'll put people's minds at ease at that. Here's what's been going on. So last 3 weeks I've been on the road. I started in Wichita, then I went to Tulsa and ended up in Little Rock. So Manny and I were able to do the Love in Black and White podcast while I was away because Manny has all the equipment, I have the equipment, and we made it work. I've been doing the HollingsWorthless with Sean. Sometimes I'm doing it now with Manny. But Sean doesn't have any of the equipment, and maybe it's my own thing. But like Kevin, you probably don't know him, Manny. But like one of the faithful listeners, Kev is a ski addict. He always will complain about the audio when it's like when you're using the Zoom mics, not the how we're using. And so it's like maybe I get in my head about it, but I'm like, fuck, I don't know if are people going to bitch about fucking Sean's mic compared to everybody else's. So I didn't do it. That's why I hadn't done it in the last couple of weeks. But there's some big changes, good changes coming up with the HollingsWorthless. Sean's going to be actually out here this weekend, and I'm going to talk to him about getting him like some of the equipment, or even maybe giving it to him because I have an extra thing. Phil Fox, update on Philly. He called me. He's as we reported before, he's in rehab. He called me from rehab. Did I tell you about this, Manny?
No.
Oh, Jesus, that was a long delay.
Fuck.
But he called me from rehab, and he told me that he's learning a lot, and he was actually pretty excited about everything. And I think he said when he gets out, he's going to go to a halfway house. I think that's what they're called, right?
Yeah. Well, usually that's like with jail, right? Is you go to a halfway house, but maybe you could do that with drugs too. I don't know. So
yeah.
But it sounds. I think they hold you and they keep you accountable. So I think that's probably what it is. Yeah,
maybe it's called like aftercare. Maybe that's the right term. I'm just like, yeah, he's going to prison afterwards. But. So, one of the hopes or goals, and Phil doesn't, well, I guess Phil probably kind of might assume this, but I didn't talk to him about it. But, if he stays sober and everything, then he'll be back co-hosting and a regular, and then, of course, still having Manny and Sean and everybody else on and everything. That's a kind of an update on Phil. He's doing great, and he said he's learning a whole bunch, which is always good to hear. I wanted to I'm trying to think we're going to have a new logo. I'm working on a new podcast art. Also working on possibly getting a custom theme song. All kinds of shit, fucking just trying to invest in this shit while we're doing the pandemic. Yeah, fucking yeah, right. So Manny, one thing Manny has no idea. I was like, Manny, do this podcast with me. Jump on. You have the equipment. It'll sound great. And so Manny had during this pandemic, and I want to talk about my 3 weeks, some of the shit that happened during the 3 weeks. But you said something the other night, and I want to talk to you about it. So during this pandemic, you've been taking an improv class.
Yes, I have. It's
so
it's so funny because dude, I feel like. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was thinking about how awkward it is to do stand up on Zoom, and I actually think it must be harder doing improv on fucking Zoom. So I wanted you to tell us about that.
Okay, well, It's not actually that bad. It's we don't even have the cameras on. We'll start with the cameras, and then we actually turn the cameras off, and it's all audio. So it's not like we're actually doing like we'll still do scenes, but for instance, somebody will throw out a topic, we just start talking and we act, and from there it's just like it's building everything like kind of virtually through like just voices. It's not the actual improv. It's not like what is it? Whose line is it anyway? We're not out there like doing the actual scenes. But I bet when that starts happening, that shit's gonna be a whole different world too. So
now,
it's been different.
So you could be butt naked, just fucking like I'm in a museum.
Exactly. So I mean, like you'll jump in and you'll be like, "Oh, hey Jay, how's your day going?" And I'll jump in and I'll be like, "Oh, it's going fine," and you just make these characters.
Hold on, don't
you're thinking
stay on this.
Yeah.
Hold on,
dude.
I love your fucking reaction. Okay, so did you have you taken improv before?
So I haven't done improv since high school. So I remember I started actually 8th grade. So from 8th grade to probably senior year, I did, a bunch of like improv stuff. I never did like theater. I was never like acting, but, I always had that muscle. And then for like right after high school, I didn't do it for probably like 15, 20 years. And then, God, has it been that long? Yeah. I graduated at 17, 37 now. So yeah, it'd been about 20 years, man. And my best friend from California, she moved up here, and she's like this huge improv, like kind of theater major, and she's just like killing it. I saw her perform multiple times. She's like, I mean, the quality of probably being on Saturday Night Live, in my opinion, she was that good at it. And she was like, I moved up here to, hang out with you and do some of this stuff.
Wait,
and
what?
I've always wanted to work with you.
Hold on, what?
We've known each other since we were kids, but so
I bet you have.
She stupid. So, anyways, she talked me into it, and man, it's been a lot of fun, and it just makes you really think on the fly, and it's like, especially if you're thinking about crowd work. Sometimes I think about how fast you are with shit. Somebody will say something, and then you just bust on them, and it's like it's just so quick, and it's helping me build that skill again, especially if I'm not doing any like comedy in the meantime. So
now do you? I want to take me through. Okay, let's do one. Like
okay.
how it is, but we'll do it with the cameras on. So if you want to see this,
okay.
It's on YouTube. So I took an improv class, a couple of them in Boston, and then I lost my job, and then I moved. So, but I remember like, and that was just like basic 101 improv. So it would be like ball, red ball, and you would throw the imaginary red ball and then catch it, and then Red Bull, like they were talking about, you got to really enunciate so you know what you're.
Okay.
I'm like,
yeah.
And I remember my buddy Dana J. Bine, is great at it, and I actually, everybody always shits on it. Stand up always shits on improv, but actually it's a different muscle, and I respect it because I'm very not organized isn't the word, but I like things structured, and so
for sure,
it's weird or uncomfortable to me to be like, I'm an astronaut. Now I'm a tree. It's just fucking weird to me. So I was like, So how does this all start? So it starts off where they're like, okay, give us a topic or something.
Yeah. So we have like a coach, an improv coach, who he'll critique, and give us, feedback on the scene, and he'll throw out ideas. Like for instance, he'll give us a story of his like life, and he was like, one time he was talking about how he was at his grandparents' house, and he thought he was really clever because he had, he pulled all the pink Starbursts out and put them in his mouth and chewed them. He's like, "Look, Grandma, I have gum." And, his grandma was like, "Okay, you idiot." You know what I mean?
Corny fuck.
So, yeah, exactly, right? And, he literally, his grandma kind of busted on him, and then he talked about how he had to, they took a long road trip from the house, and can't remember if he, like, shit himself after eating Taco Bell in the car and they had to drive back to grandma's house or something like that. But we just like, we pull stuff out of the story and then we go from there, and we'll improv like certain aspects of it. Like here's an example. they did at the Parlor. They came in and we did a show together where 3 comics did stand up, and then 3 improv teams did stand up based off of that those stand up bits. So mine was the dumb joke about the racist ghost, right? And
real quick, time out. Did they do this at the little Seattle theater for a while? Was there like a specific show?
Did. Yeah, I think it was. Well, I know they did it at the Rendezvous, but I can't remember what it was called.
I think that's yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's so it's so different when you're in the moment, and like I'm with you. Like I have this thing of letting go sometimes, and it's like it's hard for me like to be or to feel awkward. You know what I mean? Like I can tell jokes and people can laugh at me and shit, and that's fine. You know what I mean? You're either laughing with me or at me. I don't give a fuck. But when it comes to improv, I'm like, oh God, I just feel like if I'm not fully invested, I'm going to look like an idiot, you know? And it's like, it's hard to be like, oh, hello there, young lady. How are you today?
Do you have to do that voice?
No, but I mean.
Is that your improv voice?
But, you know, it's like this weekend, we did this huge, like festival. It went from noon to midnight. And everybody was, had their different sketches. We did a dating game where one person was the, contestant, and then we all had to come up with characters. So in my mind, I came up with the kind of off my brother-in-law because he's an inmate, So I was like a prison chef who just got out, and I was like, yeah, son, for the first date, I would take you on, I'd make you top ramen casserole. And, put some Hostess cupcakes together. And I live in my mama's house, right? Just like stupid shit like that. It's so hard to do it in front of you because it's just.
I know, dude. If somebody was like, okay, Jay, do improv in front of any of your friends or any comics, I'd be like, oh, God. What?
Dude.
Oh, go ahead.
It's just like when you audition for like a movie role in front of just like, you're like, okay, these people are going to think I'm an idiot, and it's like. And scene, and I'm like, so you mean to tell me that there's no fucking reason why that I'm here, and just you're getting into character, and it's just ugh.
It's funny when I do auditions now, all I think of funny enough, you mentioned this before, all I think of is crowd work, and I think of try and find one thing I can do crowd work or a joke off of so that hopefully I'm remembered because I won't be remembered for my acting. The other thing, too, whenever I do auditions... Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Whenever I do auditions, I never know what the fuck to do with my hands. It's the weirdest thing. I always get in my head. I start doing weird shit. Like if the line is like, can I get an extra large? I'll be like this. Could I get an extra... I just start doing weird shit with my fucking hands. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, there was something you were saying about that I wanted to tell you about. Going back, you were talking about doing the improv. Fuck, I lost it.
The festival doing off stories or the comedy thing that we were doing.
Say that again.
That we did off of the guy, like based off of the stories they tell, or
no,
if it comes back to you. Yeah,
I can't remember, but So, all right. So, what's the training you do? How does that go? Let's do one. Like, how does it? What happens?
God. All right. Let's go off of one of your old jokes. So I'm trying to think. What's a throwaway joke that you have?
The Christian rap.
No, there you go. Okay, so we got to do one based on, I'm a pastor, and you just create the scene, and. So it's like, hey, everybody.
I'm going to fucking delete this podcast already.
Yeah, we're already done. Welcome to the Fifth and Baptist on Marion and Joseph. And I just want to thank everybody for coming in this Sunday. And I see Brother Jason there in the front. How you doing today, Brother Jason?
I'm kind of sick. Sorry, I'm fucking with you. I'm doing the opposite of the yes and.
That's fine.
Actually, I'm kind of sick right now. I got laryngitis. I can't really talk. Go ahead.
Now, from what it sounds like is Brother Jason sounds like he has laryngitis, but we all know that's that Rona, that Roro. If you're from 27th and Yonkers, we just want to thank Brother Jason for being here. We wouldn't mind if you put on a mask, though. God damn it! So Just stupid shit like that. I can't do a scene. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore.
I know, dude. I get it. It's like you feel dirty. You're like, I don't want to do it. I want to fucking do it. Oh, dude, it's yeah. I'm trying to think. Fuck, I wanted to tell you something, and it's right there, and it has to do with that embarrassment, that feeling of embarrassment. It's something I did that I can't
not
fucking think of right
auditions
now. God, hopefully it'll come back to me. But God, dude,
it's so bad.
I wanted to also ask you though. Okay, so we've been in lockdown since March. With your day job, did you?
Yeah.
Was there a time where they were like, "Don't come in"?
Yeah. So it was probably around. Yeah, it must have been mid-March where they were like, they literally like, hey, bring home anything you need from the office. Don't worry about what it is. Bring in monitor. If you need monitors, bring them home. And, we just want everybody to stay safe. So, and it's funny in like retrospect, man, because I remember making fun of people wearing masks and shit at the airport, because I had just done some traveling in February. And I was like, look at this fucking clown. He looks like, Sub-Zero from fucking Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, this dude was way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
But
Asian?
Yep. But yeah, so they shut everything down, and they were like, basically, the bank was like, you're our first priority. We want to make sure that you're safe and that we don't put you in harm's way. So, you can work remote. You have your cell phones. You have your laptop. So just feel free to work from home, and we'll figure it out. And then they told us, yeah, you'll probably be back by August. Then August turned to October to next year. So fucking crazy,
really?
man.
So currently you work remotely? You work from home?
Yep, still working from home. Damn. Only go into the office whenever I need stuff. So
now when was the last time you were not a Zoom show or your fucking dope improv?
Yeah.
But when was the last time you were on a stage doing stand up?
Damn. I want to say probably February or January with Jubal. It's fucking crazy, man. It's like it's definitely the longest I've ever gone. But I don't know, man. It's not worth it to me to really be out there and risk it. I mean, some people are more willing to take risks, but I'm like, you start seeing that, black people are affected differently by this disease, and I'm like, I just don't want to take the chance, man. So,
Dude,
I love how. Oh, go ahead.
No. Finish what you're saying.
I was gonna say I love how Kev does it. Everybody is safe. They social distance, but some people that I was rolling with weren't really taking it as serious. Didn't really believe the pandemic. Started kind of believing some of the conspiracy theories, and I was like, I can't. I got Crystal's parents to worry about. They're older, so I don't want to take a chance. So,
dude, it's I keep what you were saying about how it affects people differently. I've heard so many different things that are interesting. Like one, I heard certain blood types are better against it, and I actually have that blood type. Whatever, I think it was like O negative or something.
Yeah, I heard.
I also read that you should be getting a lot of vitamin D, which I've been loading up on that. Yeah. Yeah, and vitamins.
Oh.
And then there was something else. There were this lady that was on Rogan. She's a doctor, and she was saying that a lot of people that it affected heavily that were not asymptomatic, they had low levels of vitamin D. And one of the things, and that's also, I think she said people of color have lower levels of vitamin D. And one of the things they also tell you to avoid the pandemic is to not go outside where you will get more vitamin D. So,
right.
I've been loading up on that. And then I just saw a thing today that said there's a certain genetic code that some people got from Neanderthals from like 60,000 years ago that are 3 times more will be affected by it,
Damn.
It's fucking nuts.
The hardest part about it is I don't think we've been our government hasn't been relaying the best information.
Yeah.
And, on top of that, it's like, what do you believe? Where do you get the correct information? I think Fauci was doing a good job in letting us know, like, hey, man, you need to just social distance, wear a mask. And then, you've got the administration who's like, you don't need to wear a fucking mask. It's not that serious. So it's just wild. So,
dude, fucking Trump, you know, it's like I'm not a political comic, and I'd say 99.9% of the time, if I ever talk about Trump, it's not about his political thing. It's just his character, him as a person, and he's a fucking cunt. Like dude, the thing with the going out in his car to wave at people, and now all those Secret Service guys, now they fucking have to quarantine for 2 weeks or whatever. And just that whole thing where he comes out and he takes the mask off to wave, but he looked like he was like labored breathing.
Dude, I mean, it looked like he was struggling to breathe. And that's the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you're like me. You don't wish anything ill or like, upon him. You hope that he's healthy and he gets through it. But it's like you kind of want him to take it a little more serious. But it's like now he comes out and he's like, oh, it's not that serious. Don't let it affect your life. But I'm like, you have the best health care in the world. And,
well, he pays his taxes, Manny, $750.
God, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, Jesus, man. It's so
Christ.
funny. Like, do you remember in the beginning of comedy when you did your taxes and then all of a sudden they're like, you owe this, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Before you like fucking were like, oh, I can write a lot of shit off, I guess.
Yeah, dude, it was so crazy. I remember I had to pay like not 1,000. It was like, no, yeah, it was like 1,000. Like after one, like I started really hosting at the parlor. They're like, and this was, and I was used to getting like a nice little return, $200, and they were like, okay, so you owe 1,000, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so luckily I had saved it, and so
you're like, do you take chicken strips?
Nachos.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you about or the listeners, and you know some of this. So the 3-week run I did. So I was in Middle America. I was doing the Looney Bins, a run of the Looney Bins comedy clubs, which Looney Bins have been around for a long time, and I'd been trying to get in there in the Looney Bin clubs for a while, and I had I had a 3-week run on the books. I think originally for April or May, and then when the pandemic came, it all got shut down, and then got an email from the owner and was like, "Hey, we're opening back up, socially distanced. Why are you laughing?"
Because I was gonna act like my computer froze. Like,
you stupid. I was like, did I say bootyism again? But he, so he hits me up and he's like, hey, we're socially distanced. We're back open. Do you want to come out? And I was like, and I thought about it for a long time. I'm like, okay, how do I, can I do it? So I have these fucking latex gloves that I wear to the airport. And then I, once I arrive, I take them off, throw them away, and have the masks and everything. And so it's funny because the Looney Bins, I flew into Wichita. Wichita was the first one I did. And everybody, all my friends like Mike Coletta and other comics had told me about Wichita, that it's a really not weird, but weird. It's a unusual or unique comedy condo where you stay. So you stay in the back of the club, but it's huge. Like it's not like a room and you're just fucking scrunched. They've built out like, dude, the space is huge in the back. They've built out like a whole apartment in the back of the club. There's a kitchen, there's a living room, there's 3 bedrooms. But the thing is, it's like built out inside. I don't know what this originally was. So did I show you video or pictures of the ceiling? Okay, so it looks like you're on a TV set because there's no ceiling. It's like you see like the fucking 2x4s and shit. And the other thing with the Wichita, the comedy condo there is not a window. There's not one window. So you'll wake up and you're like, it could be 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. I have no fucking idea. And dude, that was the first week I started at the Looney Bins, and it fucked up my whole sleep schedule because dude, I was like, and it fucked it up for the whole 3 weeks. I was
wait. So each location was like that? Like
no, but it just this set the other 2 are houses. They have houses that you stay in that are dope. They're they're really nice. But it was as far as the crowd. So Wichita, it was funny because each place had kind of like a a little funny thing happened. So at the Wichita one, I think it was the Friday early show. I'm having a good set. I'm doing my jokes or whatever. And after a punchline, this dude who's laughing, he just goes, like loudly, he goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So, but it was good. I met the manager there is Biggs, and then Wiz is like a bartender / comic, and then so the following week I was in Tulsa, and that's like about, I think it's like a 2 hour drive maybe, or an hour and a half. But Wiz drove me down. So I rode with Wiz, and he took me to this barbecue place. Dude, that was another thing. All the comics told me, they were like, "Oh, dude, when you go to Looney Bin, you got to get the barbecue." And usually they take you on Friday, and nobody had taken me. And Tuesday I was going to the other one, and Wiz is like, "I'll take you to the barbecue place on Tuesday." So we went there, and I was like, "Oh my God, I may pass out in the fucking truck."
Yeah. Wait. So let me ask you this. So originally, did they have people locally who were your openers, or did they fly people in, or how'd that work when you were in Wichita to start with?
So the host was local. The feature was Todd Larson, who I know, and Todd, excuse me, Todd drove. He just drove out. I forget where Todd lives now. I think he might live in Texas, but he drove out. So he had his car, and then so I go down. So that was Wichita. Next week I go to Tulsa, and I was so beat that I got to the house and just passed out. And the feature was another buddy, Roy Haber, who you don't know Roy, do you?
No.
Okay. So think of an opposite version of me. Roy is probably I think he might be like 5'4", 5'3", and he's bald, tatted up, Jewish guy, and he's great. So he came down there, and then he drove from, where the fuck does Roy live now? He told me, and I'm fucking spacing, but Kentucky. He lives in Kentucky now. A lot of people have fucking gotten the fuck out of L.A., dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because both these guys were in L.A. So now I'm in Tulsa, and all the shows, all the clubs were great. I'll say that up front. And the manager there in Tulsa, Jeremy's fucking great. He's crazy. He took me out to Mongolian, which I was like, "Oh, you know the key to my heart." And the audience member there is the little thing that happened with the audience this one night. So there's like, if you're on stage, to the right of the stage was a table of 4 dudes that came in hammered. They were hammered, good old boys. Dude, and when I say good old boys, I don't mean that they're racist. I mean like country, you know?
Yeah.
Probably racist too. No, I don't know. But I was going through my set again, having a good set, whatever.
Right.
And this one dude at the table, I was fucking dying. Literally every joke, story, punchline I hit, you would just hear from him, "God damn." God damn. He just kept fucking saying that. It was fucking killing me. And then they ended up getting kicked out because they were just so fucking drunk.
So just to for Wichita and all those places, were they practicing like social distancing with the tables, or everybody was just sitting together?
No, everybody, all of the clubs socially distanced, and you're required to wear a mask unless you're eating. Right. If you have to get up and go to the bathroom, whatever, they ask that you put your mask on, and they put they have the messages all up front and everything.
Yeah.
And then. So that was great. That again,
awesome.
Like these are all my first times at these clubs. You want to do well, and you also, you want to, you hope that the managers are cool and you get along with them, and they were all great. Jeremy fucking cracked me up there because he's fucking. I don't even know how you describe him. He's a little bit of a smart ass, but he's just a good dude. He's just funny. It's fucking. Nice. What did he? Oh, I asked him. I was like, "Do I need? Are we doing press or anything?" He's like, "No." I go, "Do you want me to go? Whore myself out, or anything?" And he's like, "Get on the corner." And I was like, "Yes, Daddy." So that was Tulsa, and then the final week was Little Rock, and
Okay.
it's also, these are all markets that I've never played before as far as on my own. I think I might have a couple of these I might have gone with Kev to, but me headlining, this is my first time at these markets. So Little Rock, the manager there was Wayne, and Wayne's great, and or maybe I said the zaddy thing to Wayne. I can't fucking remember, but and this one Ken Gar was featuring.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ken, and the week before, Ken was in Wichita, and so then he got a rental car, swooped me, grabbed me from Tulsa, and then we both went to Little Rock. And it was so funny. We both brought our PlayStations, which I had for the whole 3 weeks, and I'm in the one bedroom, he's in the living room on our PS4s playing Call of Duty, and it just no, but it was great, and the shows were great. Fucking Ken, dude, this fucking guy. We were one show. The host was this dude Juan Morgan, who has I guess he's killing it on TikTok. He has like one video that has I think 1 million views or something. Big black dude, very cool and very nice. He would pick us up and drop us off after the shows, and funny, which is always the most important. So this show was actually, these shows were like fucking really, really strong because Ken's a headliner, and and Juan was killing it, and so it was like a lot of people were like saying, "Oh man, everybody was great." So this was the funniest shit though. Juan comes up to us before one show and he just goes, "Hey guys, no wheelchair jokes," and we're like, "What?" And he goes, "There's a guy in the front row in a wheelchair," and we're like, "Oh, okay." So Ken goes up, like within the first minute, he looks at the guy and goes, "Hey, so what's up with your leg?"
Oh my god!
Yeah,
hilarious.
I was like, Jesus Christ, and so funny.
Oh Jesus!
And Ken was opening up a lot on most of the shows he would open with like 5 to 10 minutes of crowd work, and he was just fucking killing it. It was great.
Hell yeah.
Audiences were good. The last show, this is funny. Last show, I think we had a pimp and his hooker. Dude, it was so weird. Like, so if you're on stage, to the right is like there's a little booth and there's people can sit there, but there's also like a little room that people can go into this room. And there was this black dude, white lady, and Ken was like fucking with them, but like it was all good. And then the white lady, like in her fucking, she had on like a sequin dress to come to a fucking the loony bin, but she came out and around, and she does like a pirouette, like look at me, and then just goes back, and Ken goes, "I don't think I even need to say anything. I think everything was said right there with that." And
dude, it's so funny because I picture like a pimp and his hooker, like, and you hit like a punchline and she's laughing and he looks over, he's like, "Did I say you could laugh, bitch?" And then it's crazy, man. It's like, what the fuck,
dude. And he and so when I got on stage, like they were talking and it was so weird. Dude, she said something to me, and I go, I don't even know if that's English, because it literally sounded like she was like, and that's what I was like, what the fuck did she say? I go, I don't know if she's insulting me or complimenting me or what. And then the pimp dude started like heckling, and he was like, I think he said something about me being fat or something like that. And so then I gave him a warning shot. I said, "Well, I can't even see you, so I will," because it was fucking, the whole place was dark. I couldn't even see his girl, but she had came out and did a pirouette, so I knew what she looked like. So I was like, I can't even see you, so I will just destroy your girl, and you'll just be collateral damage. You'll just have to deal with that the rest of the night. And then he said something else, and then I went in on him, and fucking the audience lost their shit. And it wasn't like, as comics, like in our head, I'm like, that wasn't even that good, or that wasn't even that major. But the crowd was like, "Oh shit, he fucking ripped." Yeah.
Oh my god, man. You remember, I don't know if you remember this. You remember that time, like it was a late show and these girls were heckling, and I just was so tired that I was just like, "Hey guys, everything going all right back there? All right, back to the joke." You know what I mean? I was so civil with it. And it's like, there comes a time, I think, when you're just fucking exhausted from shit. And it's like, I don't want to just... It's so weird because it's like you can go so many different routes with hecklers. You can destroy them and make them feel stupid. You can be like the cordial kind of, and I mean, or you know, but there's sometimes when you could say shit that just will fuck up the whole set. And it's like, I'm always afraid to go too far with some shit. So.
Oh, well, okay, so this same show,
Yeah.
Wayne, the manager, he was on top of shit. He doesn't fuck around. So, you know, they had been talking through everybody's set for the most part. So he kicks them out. And now he tells us afterwards that lady comes like every few weeks or whatever and pretty much gets kicked out every time. I guess she gets hammered. But then, so I'm on stage. I'm probably 20 minutes into my set, a 50 minute set. And I see a group of people come in, including one black lady, right? So they came in late. And they were a little chatty, nothing too major.
Wait. So are you saying that we're late? Is it? Are you...
Yeah, and chatty. I was like, are we at the movies? What's going on? But so everything is fine. So I'm. It's getting towards the end, and I'm doing. I was doing racist pickles.
Okay, yeah.
So the joke starts out where I say. I talk about political correctness, and I say, you know, white people are the worst with it. And then the joke I say is, I go, I would love to be black for one day. Pause, and then I go, just one, and then I say, you guys got it rough. You know, everybody laughs or whatever. And that audience, actually, that crowd for that show was probably the most black out of all the shows that we did. I mean, you know, yeah, that was actually, yeah, definitely that was the most. Black heavy, if you will. The most urban. It's fucking so dumb. But so when I say that line, when I go, I would love to be black for one day, just one, you guys got it rough. Whole audience laughs, and then that one lady that came late, she goes, you couldn't handle it. And I go, what? She goes, you couldn't handle it. I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I just said. And she's like, tell your jokes. And I go, I'm trying to. Will you shut the fuck up? And then she started like, I don't know, she got all like fucking worked up. And then at one point I said to one of the black dudes that was sitting in the front that like loved me through the whole set, I looked at him and I was like, I didn't know there was black Karens. The audience lost their shit. And then that bitch got kicked out. So fucking Wayne was on it. He's like, all right. He's like, you just fucking got here. You're
God
late,
damn.
you know.
Good times though, man. Fucking, you know. Did you notice anybody like any more followers or anybody kind of jumped on?
Well, I haven't looked, to be honest. No, because there was like, yes, there has been some new followers, but there was also like, there's a couple people, in Little Rock that were friends on Instagram. And you know, had mentioned that they were like, oh, you're in my city, and so I got them free tickets to the show. So they all came to the show, which was great.
Nice. Yeah,
it was good. And then, dude, just fucking could not sleep. My sleep, like I said, the whole time, and I got back, and I still feel like my sleep is fucked up because they're 2 hours ahead, and and then tomorrow. So as we're recording this Tuesday night. This will be out tomorrow. But tomorrow I got to fly to Utah, go up and getting stuff from my mom's place and bringing it back to the apartment. And then I'm pretty much done for a while.
There you go, man.
Except I guess this is a plug. I did just pick up guys from the Las Vegas or the LA Comedy Club just hit me up, asked me if I would do time this weekend. So I'll be at the LA Comedy Club Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Socially distanced, 50 people only.
Damn. No shit. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Shit, just fucking grinding. That road life, man, it is it's rough. I mean, I think about being in Vegas and you lose track of time when you don't see the lights, and then it like you said, it throws off your whole whole weekend or however long you're in Vegas. And fuck, man, to go from city to city to city, man, it's like the grind we always talked about. And fucking totes.
Yeah, well, dude, here's the other thing with the first place in Wichita not only is there no windows, but it's not really well lit. It's not like a lot of bright lighting. So you're like, you feel like you're in a fucking dungeon, you know? But you know, it was, but it's like you can go get groceries and you can fucking, it's like an apartment in there, you know?
You know what's wild about it though is that typically if it wasn't a pandemic, you could probably go do so many things and explore the city and see it. But I'm sure everything was pretty much shut down, so it was a whole different experience. And I'm sure it'll be way more fun when you're back.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I still had the crowds were great. You know, meeting the managers and everybody was great. It just it also, this is like, you know, so this was like the first run of doing shows since the shutdown. So you know, like if you've been in that rhythm where, you know, like every weekend it's a new city and you're in that rhythm, that's one thing. But then when you're like going from not doing that, now you're back, you got to get back in that rhythm. And and like, you know, the sleeping thing is the thing that fucked me up the most. And I'm you know, next time I start going out on the road more, I may have a little travel buddy.
Ooh,
you know about this,
I heard
right?
about that. Yeah. So what breed?
Whoa, dude, what the fuck?
Oh.
Yeah, so I put a deposit down on a little puppy that should be ready to bring home in, I think it was like 6 weeks. So first week in December, I'll have a little French bulldog.
Oh, okay. So how big do they get?
They're like the size of like a fat pug, like a pug, a little bit bigger than a pug. Boston Terrier, like a stockier Boston Terrier. I think they're like 20 pounds. Big fat head. But the thing that's, because I was debating between a Boston Terrier, which I had before, or a French Bulldog. And dude, I love Frenchies. Like every time I used to want to get an English Bulldog, but I think a French Bulldog is almost like perfect for it checks a lot of boxes. So I live in an apartment. I don't have a field to run around, you know, for a dog to run around. And Frenchies are known for being great apartment dogs because they don't require a lot of exercise. They're a lot like me. They don't require a lot of exercise. They just kind of sleep and shit. You know, it'll be like a little mini me. But what's great about my apartment is I go right out and like 20 feet is a little patch of grass that is for dogs to shit, and they have a little, you know, you can grab a bag there and a thing right there to dump it. They're good travel dogs too. The biggest concern here is just make sure they don't overheat. So it's like, but I mean, I'm not out hiking, you know.
Yeah, and you got AC though, right? So you're solid.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So like, as far as traveling, do you have to have like a crate, or I mean, or are you gonna pretend like it's a service dog and give them a little vest?
What do you mean pretend, Manny? Anybody TSA that listens to this?
It's my blind eye seeing dog.
Yeah. Fucking how dare you? No. So I mean, you know, I do a lot of comedy on the West Coast, and you know, so like if I go to Arizona, I'll drive it. If I go to LA, I'll drive it. Sacramento, I'll probably drive it. If I'm doing like a long run through Seattle, I don't know if I'll drive it, but all the ones where I drive, I'll just have them in a crate, you know. And but if I'm flying somewhere, yeah, I'll have to crate them and bring them. I'm not going to let them fucking put them in the overhead or whatever. But the other thing too is I always get 2 seats.
Right.
You know, I always request the second seat with Southwest because they're the best. And
wait, so now, I mean, with flying, because I haven't flown since. Is it all spaced? I mean, there's a space in between everybody.
So Southwest automatically the middle seat. Nobody sits in the middle seat.
Okay.
And I wonder how long that'll go on for. You know.
Yeah. I mean, what if it was like a whole family? Could they all sit together or in one row?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You just go up and go, look, man, we're a family. We all already got it. Can we just...
Dude, so, last question as far as the dog goes. I mean, does that change, you think, the where you can go with certain clubs? I mean, will they allow a dog in a room?
Well, I know like there's certain motels that also, I mean, if it's a service dog, Manny-less. But there's certain. I mean, it might even be a situation where if I have to go to like Motel 6, I think Motel 6 allows pets or whatever. What are you laughing at?
I just see you dragging this dog with a green vest on, and he's just not wanting to go. And you're like, "It's my service dog. Fuck you guys."
Yeah, he's just farting and shitting. What's the service he provides? Fucking, fertilizer.
So, do you have any names picked out?
Oh yeah, there was a couple I was looking at, and one I think I'm going to go with, but I was looking at Bruiser.
Ooh, okay.
Murph, come here, Murph.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to go with Theodore Brewski, Teddy Brewski.
I love it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, name, if you got the English Bulldog, I was going to say name him Davy Boy Smith, which would have been dope.
Davy Boy Smith. Who's Davy Boy Smith?
The British Bulldog from WWF.
Oh, fuck, yeah, that would have been good.
There you go.
Yeah. Fucking, I could name him Pepe Le Pew. Because I'm sure he's going to fucking stink. But, yeah.
Try to fuck everything.
Huh?
Try to fuck everything.
Yeah, dude, no shit. He's keeping his balls. I'm not cutting his balls off. So
yeah, exactly.
I'll just get him a little fucking hump post. Be like,
and I think
go fuck that.
I wonder. So if it's a purebred, you could probably breed him, right?
Yeah. So I did a bunch of research on who I was going to go through. So there's a lady here in Las Vegas. Her name's Bliss, and you can, if anybody's interested, you can look up Blissful Bulldogs. So she just breeds French bulldogs and English bulldogs. So all these reviews of her talk about how great she is, how she walks you through it. But here's what's dope is she has on her website that she gives a 10-year and or lifetime health guarantee on your dog. Because she says, like, if your dogs are going to have a problem, like a degenerative thing, it's not going to be like something you notice probably in the first year. It'll be 3 or 4 years down the road. And she says they specifically make sure that they don't breed dogs that have problems, so that they have the healthiest of puppies. So yeah, I put a deposit down, and I've been talking to her, and she is great. So that's who I'm going to go through is Blissful Bulldogs.
It's so funny. I see like just this dog just showing up having fucking like habits. He's like, "Look, motherfucker, I'm gonna smoke if I fucking want to smoke. So fuck you. This is part of the goddamn plan. I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna shit where I want to. So I'm just letting you know."
yeah. What you gonna do?
You already paid the deposit, so you might as well get used to this shit.
Well, dude, the other thing too is like I've like I said, I read so much and I've watched so many videos, but like they're kind of like the perfect. If you want a chill dog, they're like the perfect dog. They call them shadow dogs because they just want to be up under you like a shadow, and like just they want to cuddle, they want to be around you all the time and be up on you watching TV or whatever. There's some funny fucking French bulldog videos out there. There's one called Walter that just fucking dude, he like screams at shit. I don't want a dog like that, but this is like fucking he'll just be like, rah, rah. You're like, shut the fuck up. And most of the time I guess they're pretty quiet, the French bulldogs.
So this will be interesting for me because I really want to see Teddy. I want to see him go on a ghost hunt with you guys at some point. That would be badass.
We call him Brewski though.
Oh, sorry. We call him Brewski.
Yeah.
I want to see Brewski go on a ghost hunt, and I want to hear you be like, "What do you see, boy?"
Yeah.
So,
he just fucking shits. That's a sign. There's a spirit here.
That'd be dope.
Did you see that fucking? Not to pump up a video I did, but it's more that it just blows my mind. The thing I posted about the ghost thing, the theory.
Oh, about about how kids were hearing stuff in the next room.
Yes.
And then the moms, oh my God, it makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, you walk in on the mom and she's under the sheets and you're like, oh my God, it's, you must have seen a ghost. I don't know what that was.
Yeah,
so,
dude. So
for
if you don't follow me on Instagram, what the fuck? But if you haven't seen it, what we're talking about is, so somebody had posted, a couple of people had posted that there's a theory that the ghost, when somebody says they heard a ghost, is actually it was kids hearing their parents or people having sex in the other room, and then when they said, "Hey, I heard something," and the parents were like, "Oh, we didn't hear anything," so that's how ghosts were created. And then I just started thinking about it. I'm like, that would explain you hear banging on the walls. The sugar walls, and and also the
moaning,
the moaning, but also the sheet thing. Like that had to come from somewhere. The idea of the sheets, And so I was like, so let's say your dad's having an affair. You hear something, you go and investigate. You open the door, and your dad immediately throws the sheets over his mistress. And so, dude, or somebody's walking in, they're trying to hide, so you don't see them. It all fucking makes sense. I was like, holy shit. You hear chains, they're into freaky shit.
That's so dumb.
But I'm going to do it on stage. I'm going to try and, figure out how to get into it and do it on stage.
I think that's good. The other thing I was going to say, for those of you out there who don't watch Nuke's Top 5, there was actually, I don't know if you remember that, where the dog wouldn't go to certain spot in the house, even when treats were laid there.
Yes.
He wouldn't fuck with it. He was just like, nope, I'm good. So,
dude, I got goosebumps. Yeah,
I know,
Nuke's.
shit.
I've talked about this on before. Nuke's Top 5 is awesome. If you were into like paranormal or ghost shit, the thing that I love about Nuke's is he never like people send him ghost videos or videos, whatever, right? And he'll show the video and he'll comment on it and everything, but he never, at the end of it, he never goes, so this was a ghost, right? He's always like, so what do you think? Do you think this was a ghost, or do you think this was, Photoshop or whatever? You decide. He never.
Right.
So I respect that, and he has some. Dude, there's some that fucking creep me the fuck out. Like, a lot of them you can be like, I mean, I could see how that could be faked, but then some you're like, yo, what the fuck, man?
For real. I mean, I think about
delayed.
Yeah, I know. Shit, I feel it's fucking internet. The one that was the craziest was at my house. I don't know if you remember that shit. You said you saw that 7-foot shadow. God damn. I took some sage and blessed the house and was like, man, I haven't seen anything, so I don't know. Just creepy though.
I was actually in the bedroom with a sage. Fucking.
That's stupid.
It is. Have you ever had any ghost shit other than that?
Yeah. So I don't know. Shadow people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was, must have been 4. I used to have these nightmares about this huge monster in my closet. It was a wolf, but my dad would come in, late after work. He did the night shift at this retailer, and to help me go to sleep, he would sometimes just come behind me and just.
Whoa! What? Wait, hold on. What?
he would lay
Jesus Christ!
Because I was scared, he would lay in the bed with me.
What
and then
the
help me
fuck?
fall
And
asleep.
come behind you?
Just all on my back. I was like, why is my shirt starched? But I would, and so he would lay behind me, help me fall asleep. And then, he would go to my mom's, go lay with my mom and then go to sleep. Right. So one night, and I feel like this happened twice. I'm laying there in bed and I'm like having a nightmare and I'm like, oh, thank God Dad's here. And I roll over, completely black figure, looks just like my dad. And I was like, what the fuck? And I screamed and I ran to the bedroom and he was in the bedroom with my mom, and it just scared the shit out of me. And they woke up like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And we went back, nothing was there. But I have this theory that when you die, time isn't like we think. We operate outside of time, right? And my when my dad died, his one of his friends was like, she told me about her near-death experience where she was going through the light and she saw all these dark shadows, but they were welcoming and they were trying to make her go to heaven. But the only one she could make out was her grandmother, who was reaching for her, right? And she was like, it's not your time, and then went back. But she saw the spirits on the side that were shadow people, right? So my thing is, I don't know if that was my dad, trying to be trying to make up for all the times he wasn't home and he wasn't there. He was like, hey man, I'm here with you, and possibly, or it was a demon that was laid behind me. So I don't fucking know, man. Shit was crazy though. That was the only one I can really think of outside of, I have dreams about the future every now and then, but that's nothing so. That's about it. What about you?
Yeah.
I know didn't you have your grandma, or no, that was Harold with that house.
No, my grandmother had some stuff. I'm trying to think. I mean, when we did a ghost hunting thing at the Sorrento in Seattle, and I've talked about it numerous times on this, but yeah, there was a couple things. So every year I do a haunted HollingsWorthless podcast, and one year, and we go somewhere. We've done Queen Mary, we did the Clown Motel in Tonopah, Nevada, and we did the Sorrento Hotel, we did the Comedy Underground. So the Sorrento Hotel's in Seattle, and there's one room specifically that's supposed to be the most haunted, and we rented it out for one night. And you know, and it wasn't anything like, you know, I fucking was scarred or anything, but we got there at 6, and again, all this stuff could be explained away, but I'll just tell you how it happened. Well, some of it you're like, I don't know how that happened. So we got there at 6-ish, and everybody else smoked either cigarettes or weed or whatever. So we're all in the room, and they're like, we're going to go outside to smoke. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to chill here. I was by myself. So I just had the TV on. The room is set up it's like in the shape of a J, and you would walk in, so when you walk into the room, to your right is would be the top of the J and would be the bathroom. And then to your left, it goes and it curves around into the living room and then keeps curving into the bedroom. So I was in the living room, and I heard somebody's key card on the door. I heard the door open. I heard the door close, and I'm waiting for somebody to come around the hall, and nobody ever came. And I was like, hello? I was like, okay. Now, that could have been everybody said no, nobody fucked with me, but it could have been somebody fucking with me.
Right.
One thing that kept happening, the bathroom window kept getting opened. Now, we kept closing it, and then somebody would go to the bathroom, and they're like, the bathroom window's open. And they're like, dude, we closed it. And so somebody could have been fucking with that. But the one thing that was a trip was we were in the living room, and we were, you know, like, fucking, is there any spirits here or whatever? And the living room, the hallway light just fucking turned on. And we were all in the living room. So that was like, okay, that's fucking weird. But, dude, you know, then you start wondering, like, do they have shit, you know, like a fucking clapper type thing to fuck with people that get the room? But I don't know.
Didn't you try to get Phil possessed or something and he started crying?
Yeah. That's when he started doing drugs. No, I'm just kidding.
Too soon.
Yeah, no shit. Okay, so we got to wrap this up. So do you want to plug anything?
Just Love in Black and White. Episode 6 will be out next week. Check us out every Tuesday. Manny Martin and Jay Hollingsworth. If you have questions on any type of love or dating advice, we're here for you. We're putting the love back in you. Follow me at Manny Martin JR. So that's about all I've got going on. And improv. Yeah, just make sure you follow me on that.
So I guess this weekend I'll be at the LA Comedy Club here in Las Vegas at the Stratosphere. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, one show, 8 o'clock each night. It's only 50 people allowed, so if you want to come out there. I'm at, again, the Love in Black and White. Got some other shows in the works that'll be coming out, and again, I'm at Big Irish J on everything. And thanks, everybody. We have to end it on the HollingsWorthless way. Bye.